Into a Greco match next with the Flying Squirrel, and he'll be taking on RaVaughn Perkins.
Oh, we're going to lose Julia. I think she's going to head over to mat number 2. Julia, we really appreciate you coming over.
Thanks, I loved it. Have fun.
Yep. So
Julia, one more thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming over.
Oh, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're the best.
All right.
Awesome. If you want to continue to listen to Julia, she's going to be over on mat number 2 with Richard Immel. They're going to have some more women's matches. She is our women's expert. Aficionado.
You know what this means? I get to scoot over next to Mark
No.
Bader.
Gosh dang it. Come back, Julia, because I don't want to sit next to Joe.
Hey. All right.
That's a ton more room for you, right?
We're going to have another person come here, actually. Richard from USA Wrestling will be here.
Tonight's event is brought to you by Blue Hole for Water. Today you're going to be hearing an awful lot
Making a box
of
castle here.
And so we got a short little break.
And I got to tell you, Mark, I remember 2004, I went to Indianapolis to watch our teammate Ben Askren wrestle in the trials, and women's wrestling has come so far since then.
So far, you know, and I said this last year, excuse me, I think it was here and at the trials, you just see the level of these women continue to improve, progress, and maybe even evolve. You know, they're tightening up their shots, they're tightening up their technique, their offense, their defense, their conditioning. They're becoming way more well-rounded women wrestlers.
And, you know, you're seeing more states have women in the high school athletic divisions, more colleges. You got Terry Steiner involved. Come on.
Well, and, you know, not even just the high school and the college, but you see a lot of them at the youth level, you know, making progress. And you see more and more girls, and it's being embraced at the high school level in a lot of different fronts from a lot of different states. A lot of states have women-only divisions. Texas, California. I want to say maybe New York's moving that way. And it's just awesome because the more people that can get involved in the sport, the better. And again, this is the 2014 U.S. Open live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Myself and Joe Williamson on the call. We had Julie Salata. She's moving over to mat number 2. But we want to hear from you guys. Give us a shout on Twitter at Flow Wrestling. Let us know who you are and where you're tuning in from, because we love hearing from people from all over the country, really all over the world, coming to check out this awesome sport and this awesome event that is the U.S. Open.
Look at Les Gutches. Isn't he a handsome guy? Doing awesome
look
things.
at those guns. He
Bicep
still got
show
it.
you guys are missing out on.
Awesome guy, USA Wrestling. One of the big guys there. Always fun to be around him.
And you know what? You know what I think of? This is the U.S. Open. And not that training hasn't led up to it, but you start thinking about Uzbekistan. You start thinking about the World Championships and a huge focus in wrestling now moving towards senior level World Championships. Here comes Ellis Coleman, made famous by his Flying Squirrel.
Yeah, back, 2 years ago, I think it was, at the Junior World Championships. Was on ESPN's top 10 plays, and it stayed there for quite a while and put wrestling in the national spotlight. It was awesome. He will be taking on RaVaughn Perkins. Go ahead, Joe.
RaVaughn Perkins, young. Both these guys are young, but RaVaughn Perkins, super fun to watch. He had a win over Bryce Sidoris last night to get here. Ellis Coleman out of that Oak Park River Forest room that just
Syracuse,
always putting
New York, Canada checking in. A handful of others, but we're going to get to this match.
Canada, 49 North.
Heck yeah. That's our boy Andy Ross.
Now 15 seconds remaining in the bout on mat 2.
RaVaughn Perkins going to be coming in the blue singlet. Coleman in the red.
And this is your 1 and 3 seed getting after it.
Darren Caldwell checking in. He's watching the Flying Squirrel.
Well, we have a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause? Your 80 Greco-Roman champion. How about it?
And they're getting their hand fighting going center mat. Ear-to-ear tie right now. A little more bent over at the waist than I saw last night.
Number 2. We continue the action there.
And working their way towards the edge.
Looking for a push out. No go. Just able to stay in bounds in an over-under position.
His opponent for the now famous Minnesota.
And here's what I noticed last night was when Perkins decided to go after it, he'd do some high dives, he'd find ways to score. But when he hit hard, he did score. It's interesting to see when he opens up.
And now they're going to go passive blue. Is it confirmed? Couldn't see the other officials, but I believe so. Working on that collar tie. Right hand to the collar for Coleman. Underhook on the left. Still pummeling and pushing for position. Oh, RaVaughn Perkins gets an angle. Coleman just able to square up and face him, avoid danger, and comes back to a collar tie and underhook. And I tell you, from the untrained eye, it kind of just looks like pushing and shoving, but these guys, there's a lot of technique that goes into this. And you said it, Joe, you were when we were down at the World Championships last year, you were Matt's side. You said you could hear these guys thumping and cracking, and they are banging hard on each other.
Mark, these guys might as well have boxing gloves on sometime. There's technique, but it's also just physical. And you look at a lot of these Greco guys, it looks like they've been locked in a weight room for a long time, just physical as can be.
And now they're going to put Perkins underneath his second passive call. Ellis Coleman's going to get a chance at a turn here. He goes mid-level gut, goes left, comes back to the right side. Perkins throws his left hip to the mat.
And here he goes to the score.
Turn for old Ellis Coleman, his first turn, first points of the match. He's going to go up 2-0. And they're going to go 2-1 now. Ellis jumps up. Uh-oh, he's got a trapped arm gut. Ellis Coleman trying to take him to the edge. Coleman. No, and they're going to bring it back to the center.
Coleman, it was a hammer on top last night. He ended up getting a tech in his match, and he had some of the nastiest, tightest gut wrenches I've seen. They came up and off the mat when those scores happened. And RaVaughn Perkins trying to dig underhooks on Coleman's left side now. Both sides.
Coleman fights his way back to the center. Both guys move back to the center of the mat. As Joe opens a fresh cola. Crack. Diet cola.
I'm working on my figure.
Work a little harder, my friend. Wah, wah. And we're short time left to go. 3-1 in the first period. Ellis Coleman with the lead. 10 seconds to go. They move towards the edge. Over, under again. And that's going to do it. Period comes to a close.
And Greco wrestling, there's been big news in the Greco world in the United States. A lot of talk on who's going to fill in as the new U.S. Greco coach. Struggling a little bit at the international level. I don't believe we had a medal since Wheeler in the, 09 we had Byers. Byers got a silver, I believe.
It's been a little while, though. They're making some changes. Greco coach Steve Frazier steps down, and they're going to make way for someone new.
And let's
to take over
recognize
for him.
Steve Frazier has a world title under his belt. He did good things.
Yeah, he's great.
But always good to have a change, and we're seeing the same thing in freestyle as Zeke Jones moving over to Arizona State. I saw him today with the Sun Devils polo on.
Yep.
No pop collar.
Not yet. Not yet. And we move back into the second period. Early we go. RaVaughn Perkins looking for a lock, body lock attempt. Trying to come over the top. Coleman defends. Backs towards the edge. Perkins makes his way back to the center. You know these guys, it's like they have eyes in the back of their heads, or they just train so much and they're so aware of where they're on the mat. They circle. They're inches from them back, from back and out of bounds. They circle their butt to the center and make their way all the way back to the center.
The trend in this match, so is Ellis Coleman moving forward. He's trying to dig some underhooks right now. And starting to get an angle there.
Got a body lock. He's locked around the waist. Steps on it front. And now look at that. The front left foot of Perkins moves towards the edge as Coleman comes to an underhook.
And they're going to go off the mat here.
Off the mat, out of bounds, push out for Ellis Coleman. He's going to put another point on the board. And it is confirmed, I believe. Yep, 4-1, Ellis Coleman with the lead. 2:02 to go in the second period.
Primarily white back panel, red front panel. That's Ellis Coleman.
And I think that was a challenge.
Were they challenging a push out?
Well,
he was
yeah.
on the mat?
Well, I know the mat official called one blue. One of the judges said one red. Check that. The mat official said one red. One of the guys One of the side judges said one red, and one said one blue. They were challenging it, but obviously they changed their mind.
They unchallenged it.
Challenge, unchallenge. And Perkins now taking Coleman to the edge, towards the edge, and they move immediately back to the center. Now
he's
Perkins
locked
has a
up.
body
He's gonna
lock.
go big.
Oh, he's going to take him with his back, and he's going to look for a touch fall.
Oh! RaVaughn Perkins!
Wow, he's going to pin Ellis Coleman down by 3, body locks him to his back, and picks up the fall. Big points, big move for RaVaughn Perkins. Oh,
And the young guy takes the U.S. Open, says watch out at the trials.
he just made this weight a little bit more interesting, Joe. Woo-wee. That was fun. That's what I liked.